You're listening to Affect to Change. I'm Michael Woodruff, a writer for hire and personal development coach. You can contact me at affecttochange@gmail.com and read some of my writing on medium.com/@affecttochange. This episode is about speed reading. And there are a lot of speed reading misconceptions. I won't go into all of them, but you'll see what I mean. Speed reading misconceptions, the truth behind rapid reading. Now, you've seen it in shows and movies. You have that one character that can flip through a book in a matter of minutes, and they've memorized everything in it. Page numbers, paragraphs, and they can quote it back to you perfectly. Wouldn't it be nice if that were actually true? But it's not like the shows. If you've ever watched Criminal Minds, then you've seen Dr. Reed run his finger down each page of a book and commit it to memory. You may have thought that to be a wonderful skill to have. It truly would be, if it were possible. In the show Scorpion, Sylvester can flip through a tour guide and memorize every page with 100% accuracy. In a matter of seconds, he knows everything they put in the guide and can recall that information whenever he needs to. There are countless examples of super speed reading with complete comprehension shown on the screen. Those characters are portrayed as geniuses with unique abilities that no one can match. Not even close. But that's fiction. Yes, there are exceptionally fast readers with exceptional comprehension, but it's not something that comes naturally. It is not something that can be obtained just because you want it for an upcoming test or challenge. That's because it's a skill, not a natural talent. There have been case studies on both sides of the equation on whether or not speed reading is real. Those who claim it is point to people like Evelyn Wood, John F. Kennedy, Nixon, and others who have been recorded to read 1,500 words per minute or higher. There are people like Ann Jones and Howard Berg who have been said to be able to read between 4,200 and 30,000 words per minute, respectively. Then you have the other side, which claims that speed reading with comprehension is impossible. They'll show you stats, charts, and anything else to prove their point. They'll write long-winded articles citing the many reasons why the claims of speed reading are just scams to get money out of you. Speed reading is a wonderful idea that isn't real, and anyone that claims to be able to teach you how is trying to steal your money. If you take either side at face value, you're limiting yourself. The arguments on both sides can be convincing. It's up to you to decide whether or not you can or can't learn to read faster with better comprehension. Reading was something you had to learn how to do. It took time, repetition, and consistency to be able to read. Speed reading is no different. It's not a talent that you're born with. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had to learn to read in the first place. It's a skill. It has to be practiced properly and built on. You can't run any faster. There was a time when it was believed that a person couldn't run any faster than 10 miles per hour, and that was exceptional. Today, the fastest person on record is Usain Bolt, who was clocked at over 27 miles per hour. He broke every speed record and shattered the idea that humans can't run that fast. Scientists estimate that humans have the potential to reach running speeds of 40 miles per hour, in theory. They point to limitations of muscle contractions and other factors that can be overcome. Through extensive testing, they conclude that running speed limitations will be something left in the past through training and conditioning. The same has been true for weightlifting, jumping, and a myriad of other physical feats that were once thought to be impossible. Physical and mental limitations. If the human body can be trained to lift more, run faster, jump farther or higher, then why can't the human mind also excel? It is interesting to study the human brain. With every passing year, scientists learn more and more about how the brain works. They also learn more about how the mind works. The two are intertwined. No brain, no mind, no mind. Well, you get the picture. They will agree that positive influences encourage positive behavior, while negative influences encourage negative behavior. Neuroscientists can track how external stimuli affect brainwaves, thought patterns, and physical responses. They point to studies about how music affects the cognitive functions of the human brain and even encourage certain types of music to be played to children in the womb. With the human capacity to grow beyond what was once thought to be the peak of abilities, why is speed reading such a controversial idea? It all comes down to training. Usain Bolt didn't wake up one day and found that he was able to run at incredible speeds. Lasha Telakadze didn't suddenly discover that he could lift 1,067 pounds, and neither did Hafthor Bjornsson, who held the deadlift record of 1,104 pounds. Javier Sotomayor didn't spontaneously reach the jumping height record of over 8 feet. While these are exceptional athletes with world record accomplishments, it shows that limitations are the ideas we put in our heads. They trained and trained and trained. They put the idea of limitations out of their minds and sought to do better than ever before. When they improved, they worked and worked to improve more. It wasn't a natural talent that got them to their records. It was honing their skills and training their bodies. Speed reading is like any other skill. It has to be learned. You have to train. You have to decide to put the idea of limitations out of your mind. You also have to understand that you're not going to wake up one day and be able to read at exceptional speeds. And does Bolt always run at top speed? Do Telakadze and Bjornsson lift at max capacity all the time? And how often do you think Sotomayor jumps as high as his record? If it was something they did on a regular basis, then they could easily break their own records. Reading at top speeds all the time is unrealistic. There are times when you need to slow down. The skeptics believe that reading at 1,500 words per minute is a farce, but even the fastest readers don't read at their fastest all the time. They're called records for a reason. Understand the process. If you're one of those people that believe speed reading and improved comprehension are inversely related, then odds are you don't know how the process works. Scientists will have you believe that you have to pronounce every letter in every word in order to retain the information. Do you pronounce every letter in every word that you read? Can you imagine how long it would take to read a simple document? There are others who don't take it to that extreme, but still insist that you have to say every word. There has to be an inner monologue that reads to you. Otherwise, you're just skimming and not getting the full context. Their proof? Having someone who normally reads at 150 to 200 words per minute read something at 300 to 400 words per minute, and then test them on what they read. As you can imagine, the comprehension is going to go way down. You don't suddenly increase your reading speed and expect to have good results. It takes incremental practice to increase your reading speed and comprehension. If you read at 200 words per minute, then you practice at 250. How long you practice is up to you, but you do so in short bursts, 15 to 20 minutes at most. Don't expect to comprehend anything. As you increase your speeds to the next level, don't expect to remember what you read. However, when you drop your speed, you'll find that you'll be able to read faster with greater comprehension. It's something like this. Normal reading speed, 200 words per minute. Practice reading speed, 300 words per minute. New normal, 250 words per minute. Practice, 350 words per minute. New normal, 300 words per minute. Practice, 400 words per minute. New normal, 350 words per minute, and so on. Like any other skill you wish to improve on, you have to have the basics to build on. You build on them slowly in order to allow your mind and muscles to adapt and grow. It may take several weeks of practice every day to improve your reading speed with comprehension from 200 words per minute to 350 words per minute. The comprehension comes with practice. Reading faster without training reduces comprehension. That's what the science proves. That brings them to the conclusion that true speed reading is impossible. It's what gives them a reason to say that the only way speed readers can retain anything is that they already know the subject. They ignore the training involved, as most people trying to increase their reading speed do, and come to the conclusion that it's not a reality. It's not a switch. Take away the training from any athlete and you'll find the same results. It's impossible to run faster, lift more, or jump higher. Take away the proper training for speed reading, and the whole thing becomes a farce. It's not a switch that a person has that automatically makes them better at something. It takes hard work and dedication. Is reading and comprehending at speeds like Dr. Reed or Sylvester possible? Yes. Is it something anyone can do? Yes. Will you be able to accomplish that level in a few months? Highly doubtful. Unless you spend every day, most of the day, practicing and following the steps to improve your speed and comprehension. Now, I know from personal experience that reading and comprehending at a speed of 1,500 words per minute is entirely possible. I used to do it, but it wasn't something I did very often. I started out reading at the same average speed as anyone else and slowly increased over time. I studied how to speed read and what it takes to comprehend at faster rates. I also wasn't consistent in my training. If I had been, over the years, my reading and comprehension speeds would be much higher. Now, my comfortable reading speed is between 500 and 650 words per minute with comprehension. Occasionally, I train at 700 to 900 words per minute. Training doesn't include comprehension. It's training the eyes and the mind. It increases the comprehension when I drop back down to my normal speed. If I practice on a daily basis, which I don't, I could easily reach speeds of 2,000 words per minute with comprehension. I just won't be able to do that by the end of the week or the end of the month. Ironically, reading faster with comprehension takes time. Time that skeptics don't want to factor in when they conclude that speed reading is a fantasy. Thank you for listening. I hope I've given you something to think about. If you're interested in hiring me for your writing or personal development needs, you can contact me at affectedchange@gmail.com or leave me a message in the comments.